the ninth parliament. Having said that, he put in about 30 bills that needed to be considered in the first session of the ninth parliament. That, in my view, was very ambitious, but that as it might be, it sets a tone for a robust, resilient, and efficient modus operandi for Parliament. He put in an agenda which was linked and aligned to the mantra Zimbabwe is open for business, and that he really wanted it to be in tandem and in sync with the 2030 agenda. Zimbabwe becomes a middle income economy then, and by coincidence, this is when the sustainable development goals also come to an end, the 17 of them. That is, it might be a Valentine. You'll find that I'm going to classify the bills that came into Parliament in three, in that I'm going to talk of the bills which are now acts that were passed in the National Assembly, and the bills that have been passed by Parliament but that have not been assented to by His Excellency, and the other bills that are still under consideration. So I will want to
let's touch on those because it's quite important, because we want to also get into the issue of that the Speaker of Parliament did highlight about the attendance of ministers as well. I'm sure we should deliberate on that as well. But let's get straight into some of the bills that are now acts.
No, thank you so very much. You want to know that the bills that have been absented to by His Excellency are the appropriation bill and the finance bill, and the third one is the tripartite negotiation forum, the TNF. That one has been assented to by His Excellency. And further to that, the National Assembly has gone further to debate and complete the debate of the other bills, which is the four of them. I've spoken of the three of them. So you want to say to yourself, what is it that what we have done in order to get up to the number 30 that I spoke about at inception? There is four bills. That is the companies and other business entities. That is the first one. On bills that have been debated in Parliament, and His Excellency is still to assent to them. And the consumer protection bill still to be assented into law by His Excellency, and the microfinance amendment bill is also it has also been debated, and the maintenance of peace and order bill has also been debated, Valentine. So this is four that are still awaiting his signature, the signature of His Excellency, the President, Comrade E.D. Mnangagwa. And the third tier of bills that have been debated or that are still under consideration, Valentine, is the first one, is the ZIDA bill, which is at committee stage in the National Assembly, and there is the Coroner's Office. It's at second reading stage in the National Assembly, and then the third one is the Money Laundering and Proceeds of Crime Amendment. It is at the second reading stage in the National Assembly, and the fourth one is the Education Amendment Bill. This one is unique in that it has gone to Senate, and it has come back with some proposed amendments by Senate, but it has come back to the originating house, which is the National Assembly, and it has gone back into committee stage, where it has to debate a certain section that they feel needs to eloquently come out in the manner that they feel. And then the fifth one is the Freedom of Information Bill. It has been referred to PLC. The sixth one is the Zimbabwe Media Commission Bill. I think this one you would really be very interested in, and it has been referred to PLC, that is the Parliamentary Alliance and Legal Committee. So these together, you will find that it is the 4, the 6, and the 3. So you will find that we have 13 bills that have gone through Parliament out of the agenda which was set by His Excellency of 30 bills. So it was quite an ambitious agenda, yes, but all is not lost on the National Assembly. They have the work cut out for them. I am quite alive to that. His Excellency is going to be opening the second session of the 9th Parliament tomorrow, and certainly there is going to be some complementarity and augmentation of these bills together with whatever it is that he is going to bring in to the National Assembly. This is a joint sitting, that is the Senate and the National Assembly. They are going to be addressed by His Excellency tomorrow. So as he brings in the agenda further, he is also alive to how many bills have gone through Parliament from those that he has set an agenda for in the first session of the 9th Parliament.
Let me come in and bring in an issue and a matter that I think it has had a lot of Twitter noise by Twimbos talking about it and looking ahead to it. We saw in the first session members of the opposition walking out before the president could address the House as well. And has anything changed? Are we likely to have the kind of same scenario as well, where when the president comes in, they're going to walk out? It's something that people are talking about as well. And in terms of how you deal with each other within Parliament, in terms of parliamentary business, how has that occurred? Is there unionism, understanding, respect that has gone through the different parties? We've got an independent representative as well as those from the MDCA alliance as well within Parliament.
Oh, certainly. There is a way of dealing with each other as parliamentarians. There is the decorum that that comes with it, and the adherence to the dictates of the standing rules and orders is how we deal with each other as parliamentarians. We when I say we, is me and my fellow comrade Themba Mliso. Once we hit the YouTube, and for the wrong reasons, and but we passed that. We certainly have said sorry to the masses, to the unsuspecting innocent citizens out there, because our mandate is certainly not to go and squabble in Parliament, but our work is cut out for us. We have to hit the ground running. Having said that, you have spoken about the opposition playing partisan, political, petty machination. That is certainly uncalled for. Once they have been they have been elected into the august house, they need to behave as such. But that thin veil of political machination has been seen through by the National Assembly, the Speaker of the National Assembly, and the guys in the opposition, or the honorable members in the opposition, need to behave honorably. They cannot take with the left hand from His Excellency the issues to do with whatever services they would require from him, and denigrate him with the right hand. Certainly that is uncalled for, and it is time that they came to the party and recognized His Excellency. This has always been their cry, that they do not recognize His Excellency as the elected president of the state of Zimbabwe Republic in the Second Republic. But that should be a thing of the past. In my view, he has won the election, and he has won it twice. In the view of SADC, in the view of the global community, they have embraced Zimbabwe's election, and it is time for the opposition to make sure that they walk up and smelt the coffee. That is, it might be. All the other additives and advantages that come with the participation in Parliament need to be withdrawn from them if they do not recognize the head of that institution. This is that is my view, and my clarion call will be they need to embrace the unity and the decorum of Parliament and make sure that they adhere to the ethos, the values, and the dictates of this nationhood advanced by the National Assembly.
Well, I would have wished that for them to have been, but they couldn't make it. But we'll continue. But let's look at the other great concern that the speaker did speak to just a couple of weeks ago, where he did say he did right. There was always a complaint from parliamentarians to say that ministers are not coming as regularly as they would want them to especially during question time in Parliament. And the speaker has spoken to this. How much has it affected in parliamentarians fulfilling their mandate as they get questions across in terms of policy as they represent their different constituencies?
The reason why the speaker is quite averse to issues of or the delinquent behavior by ministers not coming to Parliament, it is because of the agenda, the bills that His Excellency has promised that they will come to Parliament. His Excellency, through his cabinet, would have made sure that those bills go through cabinet and come through to the National Assembly. That is the whole purpose. And having said that, I want to give you the reason why ministers need to come to Parliament expeditiously and make sure that they deal with their mandate. Parliament is a third arm of the state, and they do not seek to govern, but to interrogate the manner the executive carries out its mandate. There is about 20 portfolio committees in the National Assembly, and there's 7 thematic committees in the Senate, and these are just established to interrogate the manner the executive carries out its mandate, as it is enshrined in section 117 and 119. There are a lot of bills that are still supposed to come under consideration, and this Broadcasting Services Amendment Bill, the Child Justice Bill, the Constitutional Court Bill, Cooperative Societies Amendment Bill, like I have said, the Coroner's Bill, Customary Law and Local Courts Amendment Bill, Cybercrime and Cybersecurity Bill, Forest Amendment Bill, the Gold Trade Bill, and High Court Amendment Bill, Institute of Education Research, Innovation and Development Bill, Mandatory Sentencing of Rape and Sexual Offences Bill, the Marriages Bill that we have gone as a Justice Committee on an outreach to go and solicit views from the public. These bills include, amongst others, the Mines and Minerals Amendment Bill. There is an outreach program currently, and there's a Precious Stones Trade Bill, Public Finance Management Amendment Bill, Regional Town and Country Planning Amendment Bill, Rural District Council Bill, Traditional Leaders Amendment Bill. These are some of the ubiquitous amount of bills that still need to come to Parliament. So without the attendance of members of the executive, there is certainly quite a lacuna in the whole system. There is a disjoint in the whole modus operandi, in that we are impeded upon our mandate as parliamentarians. So it is only incumbent upon the ministers to attend to Parliament. So this is the reason, Valentine. And having said that, I have already said there is 20 portfolio committees, and there is 6 thematic committees.
0242498651, 0242498631. Those are the two Lela numbers you can get in touch with us with your questions and contributions right here on the Breakfast Drive on the Grill. And you can also get in touch with us on our WhatsApp platform. That's 0719498651. Remember, we're also streaming live on our Facebook page. That is Classic263. You can also follow us on Twitter at Classic263, as well as on Instagram. The handle is the same at Classic263. This is the Breakfast Drive. And Honorable Dexter, there were great concerns about the CDF, the Community Development Fund that parliamentarians get, and we understand as well that they've decided, Parliament is